What's up, wrestling fans? My name is Joe Cronin. This is the Joe Cronin Show. We have a lot of news right now. This is going to be a fun one, I think. We are going to get to the big story. Conor McGregor, Wrestlemania 39, and it's even bigger than that potentially, and I'm going to explain why I think it's a great idea, by the way. But one of the first things I want to talk about really quickly, and again, guys, comment down below, leave the likes, you know the deal. Renee Young, doing something with the WWE again. That's great. Doesn't mean she's back full-time as something, whatever else. She's just doing some side work with the WWE and picking it up, and that's fine to me. But to be honest, Renee Young was terrible on commentary, but she was wonderful as a pre-show host. She's the best pre-show host, maybe one of the best ever that the WWE has ever had, or at least has had in the last, I would say, 20 years, to be honest. So I really think Renee Young has a lot of value as a pre-show host, that sort of thing. I love her in that role. She's believable, serious, she's pretty, she's nice, she's smart, she's exciting. All those things. She's very professional. I think she's wonderful in that role. I think the WWE would really be well-suited to bring her back in that role again, because she was really good at it. I really believe that. I do. But everything else she did I didn't like. But that's not her fault. That's just not her strength is where it is. Like, I feel like Byron Saxton's strength. I think he's atrocious on commentary, but I think he's a phenomenal backstage interviewer. I think Byron Saxton is the best backstage interviewer the WWE really has, but they don't use him in that role. So whatever, they're classic for doing this. And again, we're going to get to this Conor McGregor news. By the way, if you guys super thanks down below, I will pin it to the top of this video. So top guy is going there. The WWE Championships are changing. We've heard about this. Belts by Dan has rumored that there's these designs coming. Now, we don't know what they are, but once again, my opinion has stayed the same. I believe personally, and if I was ever to speak with Triple H, first of all, he wouldn't give a damn what I have to say. But if I was ever to speak with Triple H, I would say my suggestion would be to take all of the classic 90s, especially the 90s, late 80s and 90s championship titles, and I would replicate them almost identically, but I would variate them by 15%. So every single belt would be a variable of those belts by about 15 to 20%. That way they have that iconic classic look with an upgraded vibe of today, and something new to distinguish them away from those looks, but at the same time, 100% you realize it's the Intercontinental title, the one we've always known. 100% it's the United States. I actually like the United States title. I think that this is actually a good example of an updated version of the classic belt. Now, maybe throw a little more red, white, and blue on there, just a little bit more. Maybe make those stars blue. But other than that, for the most part, I think this is a wonderful upgrade to the United States title. And I think it's more of a variation from the original. It's probably 50% like the original and 50% new. I wouldn't go as drastic with the other ones. I would go about, like I said, 20%, 30% different at most. So, but this is a good example of a wonderful upgrade. Many of the Intercontinental title looks like a Zildjian symbol. It looks terrible. In some theories, it looks good. It looks like a New Japan NXT style type of belt, but there's something devoid of heart and charisma and lineage that it just lacks that. So they need to go back to the old style, I believe, with basically what I said. I'm not going to repeat myself a million times, so I'm not going to do it. So stop right there, Joe. I'm sorry. NXT, WWE is looking to bring back Halloween Havoc. Now, we've already seen it come back. Obviously, we've seen it, but, they're going to make it a regular thing, which it should be. it's just a wonderful selling point. It's a great theme. It's a great name. It's something wonderful from the past of WCW's past that they, 100% should do. So I'm all in favor of that. We're going to get it this year, it looks like. That's going to be a fun special event. So that will be nice. There's a concerning story about Lady Frost. Some of you guys may know about Lady Frost. Some of you guys may not. But Lady Frost works for Impact. And whatever you think about her is whatever. But this is a very concerning story that, not a lot of people are talking about this. And I've had it slide across my desk a few times here. And by the way, I reached out to Lady Frost, but obviously I'm banned on Twitter, so I don't know what to do. If anybody has anything to say to me from that camp, Impact Wrestling, Lady Frost, whatever, love to hear about it. Joe Cronin Show at yahoo.com. Instagram at Joe Cronin Show. Lady Frost, working for Impact Wrestling right now, she asked for her release from the company, and allegedly for a long time now she's asked for this release, and because of that they said no. First of all, they said no to Lady Frost, and also she is unable to do anything, and she actually doesn't get paid unless she wrestles, per the contract she has with Impact Wrestling. So essentially she cannot wrestle, she won't be released from her contract, and they're not letting her perform, so she's making no money and essentially is held hostage, allegedly. This is a big rumor that this has been going on since April. She's been not booked, unpaid, no grant of release available. So, interesting there. I don't know who the bad guys are in this situation. Some people think it's Impact. Some people think it's her. I don't know how it's her, but, whatever. So that's a situation with Lady Frost. That's a crazy sort of a situation. But now let's get to the main story, the big story, which is Conor McGregor at WrestleMania 39. And in my opinion, a lot of people say, like, it's really going to depend on his MMA career. If he comes back for one more fight in MMA or maybe a couple more fights in MMA and he wins, now his stock is up and WWE is going to want him. It's going to be great. I completely disagree with that. I so disagree with that. Anybody who says that the WWE won't want Conor McGregor because he loses. Conor McGregor could lose 3 fights in a row and then WWE would still pay him. Now, granted, if Conor McGregor were to win 2 fights in a row and then retire in the octagon, yes, that would be better for everybody involved. But, dude, WWE would sign CM Punk just like AEW did, and he looked like a chump in the UFC fighting octagon, yet AEW signed him. It doesn't matter. I refuse to believe that matters whatsoever. The name of Conor McGregor, the brand of Conor McGregor, is so transcendent at this point. The WWE would molest themselves to have Conor McGregor. And by the way, Ronda Rousey finished up lousy in MMA, and they signed her, and they enjoyed having her. So it doesn't matter. Ronda Rousey could... literally, Ronda Rousey lost, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but Ronda Rousey went into a depression, I don't remember, but I thought that they said she was a bit suicidal at one point, right? A very scary thing, very hurt, very injured mentally, and things like that. And listen, I've got anxiety and depression and issues. I understand it. You know what I mean? It's not funny. It is, because I'll make a joke about anything, but it's also very serious and sad and whatever. So the fact that Ronda Rousey was a broken person, lost several fights, and the WWE loved to pick her up. Of course they would. So this thing about Conor McGregor, he's not, WWE doesn't want him because his real estate is down. That's BS. Your real estate might be down as an MMA fighter, and as a legacy, your real estate might have dropped, over booking a real professional MMA style fight. Sure, a little bit. But the MMA would have him in a minute. And guess what? The WWE certainly would. In wrestling, your real estate hasn't. Your real estate's only has dropped about as much as you think it has. This guy's got a brand. He's got a name. It would make waves if it said Conor McGregor signing with wrestling, WWE. I mean, yes, I don't think it's as impactful anymore because I think, unfortunately, there's a bit of a stigma now with WWE and wrestling, again, which there used to be in the early 90s, but it went away in the late 90s to mid-2000s. From about 1998 to 2010, if somebody said they're going to WWE, it would be a massive thing. People would be like, oh, really? That's cool. He's going to work in the WWE. That'll be fun. But back in the early 90s, if someone said, I'm going to go become a professional wrestler, people would be like, well, you're a loser. Well, now that same stigma is there. Conor McGregor going to WWE nowadays, people go like, ugh, man, what a downfall. That's what people think. But the WWE doesn't think that. The WWE thinks we're getting a multi-million fucking, massive name. We're getting a huge name in our company. So for WWE, absolutely no, dude. It's a no-brainer slam dunk, okay? A no-brainer slam dunk. he's not damaged goods by, you know what I mean? This guy's the biggest celebrity in your company. Conor McGregor comes to WWE. He's the biggest name they have, unfortunately, for the state of wrestling we're in right now. And by the way, you want to know who I'd book him against? I'd book him against Brock Lesnar. Can you imagine? And the reason I say that is not just because I think that. It's because that's part of the rumor. Part of the idea and part of the rumor is to have Conor McGregor step in a ring with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus Conor McGregor at WrestleMania. Think about that. Think about that. WrestleMania goes Hollywood, WrestleMania 39. I don't know if they're going to do it at WrestleMania 39 or WrestleMania 40, but that is a huge rumor. That is a huge match. That's crazy. Conor McGregor, it would have to be, Brock Lesnar would have to do a lot of work, to make that look right. Because I don't know what kind of skills Conor McGregor has, as far as in the wrestling ring. And I don't know if those guys get along and what the situation is. But, man, I would kill for, I don't care if it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. Just to put that on the marquee, Conor McGregor versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Oh, boy, dude. I'm telling you, that would be something. Listen, please leave me comments down below or a super thanks. I will pin it to the top. I'm Joe Cronin. For more wrestling news, follow me here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell because every single day I got stuff coming up. And I've got this new format. Plus, I'm live after every single WWE and AEW event. And right now, AEW is treading water a little bit as WWE makes a resurgence. And AEW's locker room is starting to fall apart quite a bit. There's many problems, there's many issues, and there's many things that I'm going to start reporting on at this point. I was always holding back a little bit because I was trying to be nice with AEW, but it might be time to let the gloves off. I don't know. But the invitation is always open to Tony Khan to come on the show here, and let's have a conversation. I'd love to have him. Tony Khan, AEW, hit me up. Joe Cronin Show, yahoo.com. Guys, please leave stuff down below. Hit the like button. The likes matter. The new YouTube algorithm, if a video gets 1,000 views and it only gets 80 likes, it's dead in the water right now. It's the new algorithm. You need to have at least 30% of your audience clicking the like button for the video to do well now. That's a real thing. So if this video doesn't have 300 to 400 likes, it's in trouble, to be honest. So it's up to you guys to hit the like button, and you can really go nuts and hit the super thanks button, the heart down below, and drop a little love for me, and I will pin you to the top with your comment. What do you think about all this? I'm Joe Cronin. Hit me up on Instagram at Instagram.com /Joe Cronin Show, Facebook.com /Joe Cronin Show, TikTok at Joe Cronin Show, Yahoo.com. If you want, Joe Cronin Show, Yahoo.com. You got to email me something. For over 10 years, the longest running live post-WWE live YouTube review, The Joe Cronin Show. Here's some other videos popping up that you might have missed. What do you guys think? Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania?